Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country. From the blue-collar professor, he teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry, or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business, and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you, so make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Whoa! Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to it, where we continue to take the left of school, exposing them for who and what they really are, all while arming the hardworking people of America like you and me with knowledge we need to hold our elected officials accountable. But fear not, unlike those leftist professors that are out there, there are no safe zones in this classroom. Why? Because we believe in the First Amendment. It is Monday. We are back at it again, and it's going to be a big week. If you would like to connect with the show, you can do so several ways. We are on the web, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com. You are welcome to email me anytime. I read each and every one of those. If I do my best to respond to each and every one. If I don't, please don't get upset. We're receiving more and more emails by the day, but I do my best, and I definitely read them and love to hear your comments. You can connect with us on Twitter at The GM Show. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. The show is on demand. We offer 6 shows a week. All of them are on demand. iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, Google Play, among other outlets, but those are the big ones. And we are about 15 followers away from the magic 100 number on Spreaker. And what that 100th follower does for us is it qualifies us for iHeartRadio to get our podcast on iHeart. And that's the mecca. That's the pinnacle for podcasters. So if you have not done so, it would mean the world to us if you would just search The Gavin Mitchell Show on Spreaker and give us a follow. If you do not have a Spreaker account, it is absolutely free. Just takes a few minutes to sign up, find other great music, other great podcasts out there as well. But if you would search The Gavin Mitchell Show and give us a follow, it would mean a ton to us. We're on the Conservative Radio Network every weekday at 5 p.m. And then our live offering is Saturday on News and Information KLIF 570 a.m. at 8 p.m. on Saturdays. If you are outside the Dallas area, fear not. Ron and his guys at Conservative Radio Network have done us the tremendous favor of streaming that live. So you can be a part of the show no matter where you're at. And with a live show, we offer the opportunity to call in and be a part of the program, and I highly encourage it. But I have some new news I alluded to last week. First and foremost, I want to give a special thank you to SHR Media, that's Sackheads Radio Media, and High Plains Talk Radio. They are going to start carrying the Gavin Mitchell Show, and I want to welcome them to the family and say thank you so much. It's an honor to be a part of what you have going on there, and it's an honor to have our show listed among those great shows. We are also on the 405media.com. Special thanks to John out there. And K98 Talk. Rick and his guys do a great job up there, and it's an honor to be a part of all of those. It tells me that what we're doing is right and it's good and people want to hear it. And the more we can get the conservative message out, we are all for it. So just an honor to be a part of that. And one more piece of housekeeping. I've kind of kept it close to the vest. But if you listen to the Matt Locke show, he went ahead and let the cat out of the bag the first chance he had. And I am equally as excited about it. We just needed to make sure things came together and became what we needed them to become to do it. But we're doing it. We are going to do it. You're going to be able to find it on the conservativeradionetwork.com. We are also going to be on a couple of terrestrial stations on the overnight, I believe a Wednesday and Saturday night, starting at or about midnight on Wednesday night, Central Time. I believe that's 1 p.m. Out there Eastern Time. And then during the night hours sometime on Saturday, right after the live offering, so 9 p.m. Central. Now, I'm going to get back with you on those times as we get closer to Wednesday night because I just don't have them in front of me. But what's going on during those times on the Conservative Radio Network and then again on those terrestrial stations? Well, here's what's happening. Matt Locke and I are great buddies, and we talk constantly. We're always talking about politics. We can call one another about anything in the world and it goes straight to politics. That's just how it is. And then an hour later, one of us is like, man, I really got to go. And we never want to end the conversation. We've done some work on the radio, on our podcast, and then on terrestrial stations. And we just decided that we have so much fun that once a week, we're going to get together and do 2 hours worth of radio. And it's going to be available on conservativeradionetwork.com. It's going to be available on those terrestrial stations. And again, I'll get back with you closer, but there is no quarterback. This is Matt and I picking some topics and just going at it the way we go at it, milking each other for information, for opinions, for local feels. And we are really excited about what's going to happen here because we feel like we work pretty well together. We always have fun. People that listen always seem to enjoy it. And so we're excited about this. And we've come up with a name for the show. It's going to be the Conservative Cartel. And we picked pardon me. My goodness, I don't know what happened. We picked the Conservative Cartel for a reason. One, the true definition holds. We are a group of people getting together for a common cause. But two, we feel like this administration has outlawed the Constitution. We feel like this administration has outlawed the Bible and Christianity and Christian beliefs and just normal everyday common sense for hardworking people. And so we're going to pick up that sword and we're going to fight for that cause, whether they consider it contraband or not. We believe that that's what makes this country great. And so keep your eyes peeled for that. Matt Locke and I are getting together and we are going to burn the place down. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's jump into it. Tomorrow is Indiana, and the primary is in Indiana. And if you listen to Ted Cruz's camp, he's got to win this. This is the turning point. They're on more favorable terrain, so on and so forth. I have laid out the argument here on this show that this thing is over with or without Indiana. But Indiana's fired up to be a part of something relevant. Indiana's fired up to have their votes count, and they do count. They just may not count in the way they want them to count. If Cruz wins Indiana, it doesn't matter. Donald Trump has a pathway to the presidency, and we laid it out. If Donald Trump wins, he's just that much closer. He is just that much closer. He needs somewhere between 250 and 300 at last check, depending on which poll you look at. But the polls are out, and these polls, most of them were taken somewhere about the 28th of this month, or last month, just a few days ago. One of them has Trump up 7.5 points, Trump up 15 points, Trump up 9 points, Trump up 2 points, Trump up 5 points, Trump up 8 points. What does that mean? Well, simply put, that means everybody has Trump ahead. It's just to what degree? What degree? As many as 15 points he's up. And so Donald Trump is going to win this. The delegates are going to be split up proportionally, and that's the way we're going about it. I've argued that this thing is over, but I'm a Ted Cruz guy. I hear a lot of these guys, and there's one guy that goes on my buddy's radio show, and it doesn't matter what historical fact you throw out at him. He spins it into, well, Cruz is a liar. Cruz is no Lincoln. It's just a pure subjective disdain for Ted Cruz. And I have no problem, ladies and gentlemen, with people supporting a candidate over the other. But that vigor and that disdain, it has no place over here on the right. And at some point it becomes ignorance, right? Where you're just spinning everything you want to and to what you want it to be. It becomes ignorance. And sometimes I've actually been on this show with my buddy, and this guy starts running his mouth, and I get embarrassed for him, but no one seems to notice that what he said was absolutely false, absolutely true, completely ignorant, just dumb. It's just dumb. But that's where we're at now, and the only reason I bring it up, it's not to bash that guy. I'm sure he's a swell guy. I'm sure he's awesome. The buddy that I go on the show with is a great guy. I think the world of him. And if he vouches for that guy and says, no, he's a friend of mine, he's a good guy, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. This isn't a personal attack. My point to that is that while there is a lot of that coming from the Trump side, there is a lot of that coming from the Cruz side too. And we have to, and I've been begging for months now, we have to come together. We have to lay down our swords, and we have to remember the original objective to entering this election, and that is to stop this lawlessness and this recklessness coming from the left. We have to get rid of Obamacare so that we can bring back small businesses into this country. We have to stop doing under-the-table deals with Iran so we can guarantee we can protect ourselves and we don't put our allies in jeopardy. We have to close the border so that we can keep our families safe and keep people from stealing jobs. The list goes on and on and on. And if we let Hillary Clinton into the office, and that's where we're at, people are sick of the left. The numbers are so far down on the left, it's disgusting as far as voter turnout this primary season. We have to keep her out. And just as I mentioned, it's going to be a let her in situation from the right if we do not come together. I understand what the establishment is and has done. I get it. I understand that you might be for candidate A and not candidate B. I get that. But the bottom line is here very soon we are going to have a candidate that has done what is required to be the GOP candidate for the president of the United States. We are going to have that person very soon. We have to step up for this country, lay down our personal preferences and pride, and understand that we're at a fork in the road and we have to make a decision. And we have to pull emotion out of it. We have to. Have you ever made a good decision based on emotion? I haven't. Every decision I've ever made based on emotion, a few weeks later I come back and dang, I wished I hadn't done that. Wished I hadn't bought that. That's how that works. We have to check the emotion. We have to look at it rationally and logically and have a sound mind. And when we take that objective approach, we will unite. We're not out there beating people up because they don't agree with us. We're not out there stomping on the American flag because they don't agree with us. We're not out there saying, well, we're just against this guy, and when they ask why, we can't come up with a reason. That's not what the right does. And I understand the frustration. I truly do. But we have to pick up our flag and approach this together to make sure we get the country back on the right track. Now, I've always been objective when I've approached this, whether people believe it or not. I have. I only report the news and comment on it. I don't make it. And if Donald Trump says something stupid, you bet we're going to address it. And I'm telling you here and now, I don't know that I believe Donald Trump is 100% of what he says he is. I don't know. It's tough for me to believe that people can change their views that drastically, that quickly. But regardless, even if it's only about half true, a quarter true, it's still better than Hillary. Now, 4 years from now, I may end up eating those words. But we're at a point where we don't have a lot of options. And I would be making the same cry right now if Ted Cruz had won, if Jeb Bush had won, if Rick Santorum had won, Marco Rubio. I don't know about John Kasich. I'd probably say write somebody in if John Kasich were the nominee. But my point is we have to unite. We're at those crossroads. And so that's where we're at. Hey, coming back on the other side, we're going to have a little fun. I want to talk to you about Saturday night's show in case you missed it. It is available out on the website. I would encourage you to listen to it. I'm going to tell you why on the other side. And then we're going to have a little fun. We're going to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. But unlike the other conservative radio hosts out there, I'm going to bring a fresh perspective to this. I think it's good to laugh. And I think it's good to be able to laugh at yourself. I think it's when the chips are down and bills are being passed and important decisions are made. That's when we can disagree. But if we can take a night out and just laugh and remember who we are, I think it's a good thing. So we're going to visit that. We're going to talk about that on the other side. Hang tight. Don't go anywhere.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity, lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessories store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and T-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialists in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
So I promised you we'd talk about Saturday's show a little bit, and I understand Saturday night might not be convenient for you to actually tune in live, and that's okay. That's okay, but it's us giving the listeners an opportunity to be a part of the show, to call in, to let me know what you think, what's on your mind. And Saturday we had a couple points that I want to reiterate today, and I'm not going to play back the segments or anything like that. But we had on a lady that was a delegate here in the great state of Texas. And she's just an ordinary person like you and me. She goes to work, she does her thing, and she decided that she wanted to be involved in the democratic process. She was tired of all the gum flapping, and she wanted to help right this ship. And so she ran for delegate for her congressional district, which is her county. They're one and the same. And she made a pledge to the voters that, look, whoever you vote for is who I am going to vote for as a delegate at the state convention. That's how this works, because technically the Texas delegates are unbound. And she did that, and people voted, and it turns out that her district happened to be for Trump. And that's great. She's upholding her word. No problem. She's elected delegate. Life moves on. Well, a couple days later, there's a guy that knocks on her door, and he says he's with the Cruz campaign, and he tries to bribe her by paying her property taxes. Her property taxes were due at the time, and he tried to bribe her to get her to vote for Cruz by paying her property taxes. She got uneasy. She said, no, go away. And the guy stepped toward her, almost in an act of intimidation. And that's when she told him, look, we own guns. If I got to, I'll use it. I will call the police. I need you to leave. I'm not interested in this nonsense. Well, she was approached a couple more times by this guy and another guy. And they went so far as to offer to pay her trip to Dallas, to pay for the trip to Cleveland if she were elected a national delegate. She's a breast cancer survivor, and they offered to settle those bills from her cancer treatment. And all of this went on, and all of this is completely legal, ladies and gentlemen. But when you talk to this person, this lady that just wanted to be a part of making this thing right again, to right the ship, to get us back to the principles that made us great in the first place, she just wanted to be a part of it. She didn't ask for that. And let me underscore this. It's completely legal to do this. But it is completely wrong. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Now, listen, I want to be clear. This isn't me singling out the Cruz camp and firing a shot across the bow. If Donald Trump did the same thing, I'd be talking about him. I just don't have any evidence. I'm not saying it's not going on. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I've got evidence. I've got a lady. We checked her out. She checks out. And she's being intimidated and bribed for her vote at the state convention. That's just wrong on so many levels to me. That's diluting democracy. That's bastardizing the process. And it hurts my heart that we have come to that's what politics is. And I've thought long and hard about not being a leftist liberal on this and just complaining about the problem. What is the solution? How do we keep things like that from happening? Because if, and she is not, she appears to be laced with integrity through and through, but if she were shady and accepted the deal, how would we ever know? How would we ever find out? And there's not a good answer. I mean, you would need warrants and so on and so forth. I think the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is that we move to exactly what Trump's been calling for all along, a popular vote by state for this nomination process to get rid of these shenanigans. I've often said that the system, it may be outdated. It may not be right for us, but it's worked in the past. It's the way it's always worked. It is the process that got Abraham Lincoln elected. He didn't go in as the front runner with delegates. He went in second or third place and ended up whipping votes to become the candidate. The system worked great at one point. I have questions now. And so we had that interview. I'd encourage you to listen to it. We also had Rick Monday, a soundbite from Rick Monday. And if you don't know, April 25th in 1976, the Cubs and Dodgers got together for a day game at Dodger Stadium. And two of these idiots run out on the field and try to light a flag on fire. Well, Rick Monday comes running in from center field and scoops up the flag and keeps them from burning it. And we talked a lot about how he just stepped out. He's a ball player. He's not supposed to do that. He could have easily let him light the flag on fire, get some ushers to usher him out, so on and so forth. But he decided to run over there and pick up the flag and protect the flag. And he goes on to talk about why he did it, that he'd been to enough VA hospitals and had enough family members and friends who have served and people who have died for that flag and what it stands for. And he felt like it was the least he could do. And I kind of made a call to arms over it, that we need more Rick Mondays. We need more people to stand up for the flag and what it stands for, and not just say, oh, well, to each his own. If it feels good, do it. Just because it's legal doesn't make it right. And so that was part of Saturday's show, an incredible show. If you haven't heard it, go to the website, thegavinmitchellshow.com, and it's available there on the homepage. With all that said, I want to lighten the mood. The White House Correspondents' Dinner was this past weekend. And it's an opportunity for celebrities and journalists to get together, and the president speaks, and there's a lot of jokes, and it really is a fun night. And while I hate everything this president stands for, it seems, I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he'd be kind of cool to hang out with. I think he's a fun guy. I just think his thought process is distorted. I think some of the pillars he shapes his life on are wrong. And I'm sure he feels the same way about me, because he absolutely knows who Gavin Mitchell is. That's sarcasm, by the way. But I'm sure if we got to know each other, he'd feel the same way. Yeah, he's a cool guy to be around, but I don't agree with a lot of what he has to say. And so with that said, they get together and they tell jokes, and this is my point. We've got to step back every now and then to where we're not consumed with anger. We're not consumed with hate, that we're able to understand what's going on. And when you get in situations like this, and you're able to tell jokes and laugh at each other, laugh at yourself, it humanizes the people that you may have an issue with when it comes to policy. And when you realize there's a human being on the other side, it makes those conversations a lot less, I'm looking for the word, hateful, not hateful. You understand what I'm saying. There's not as much animosity exchanged during those conversations when you're dealing with someone you know as a person. And so we've got about 4 minutes here. I just want to play you some of the jokes. He pokes fun at liberals. He pokes fun at conservatives. He pokes fun at the media. He's actually a pretty funny guy. I don't know if he wrote it himself. He's a pretty funny guy, but take a listen. And I just feel like this is needed every now and then. And so here's the President of the United States at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I want to thank our host for the evening, the Chicago girl, the incredibly talented Cicely Strong. On Saturday Night Live, Cicely impersonates CNN anchor Brooke Baldwin, which is surprising because usually the only people impersonating journalists on CNN are journalists on CNN. ABC is here with some of the stars from their big new comedy, Blackish. It's a great show, but I have to give ABC fair warning. Being Blackish only makes you popular for so long. Trust me. There's a shelf life to that thing. As always, the reporters here had a lot to cover over the last year. Here on the East Coast, one big story was the brutal winter. The polar vortex caused so many record lows, they renamed it MSNBC. But of course, let's face it, there is one issue on every reporter's minds, and that is 2016. Already we've seen some missteps. It turns out Jeb Bush identified himself as Hispanic back in 2009. Which, you know what, I understand. It's an innocent mistake. Reminds me of when I identified myself as American back in 1961. Ted Cruz said that denying the existence of climate change made him like Galileo. Now, that's not really an apt comparison. Galileo believed the Earth revolves around the sun. Ted Cruz believes the Earth revolves around Ted Cruz. And just as an aside, I want to point out, when a guy who has his face on a hope poster calls you self-centered, you know you've got a problem. The narcissism index is creeping up a little too high. Meanwhile, Rick Santorum announced that he would not attend the same-sex wedding of a friend or a loved one, to which gays and lesbians across the country responded, "That's not going to be a problem." Don't sweat that one. And Donald Trump is here. Still. Anyway, it's amazing how time flies. Soon the first presidential contest will take place, and I, for one, cannot wait to see who the Koch brothers pick. It's exciting. Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker. Who will finally get that red rose? The winner gets a $1 billion war chest. The runner-up gets to be the Bachelor on the next season of The Bachelor. I mean, seriously, $1 billion from just two guys. Is it just me, or does that feel a little excessive? I mean, it's almost insulting to the candidates. The Koch brothers think they need to spend $1 billion to get folks to like one of these people. It's got to hurt their feelings a little bit. And look, I know I've raised a lot of money too, but in all fairness, my middle name is Hussein. What's their excuse?
So a fun night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and again, not a big fan of the president, but it seemed like fun. Hey, on the other side, Hillary throws out a cabinet quota. Believe it or not, we're going to talk about the May Day protest, and we finally have a stock reaction to the Target boycott. All of that coming up on the bottom half of the show. Hang tight.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, themattlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at themattlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on themattlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
The following message is brought to you by Health Markets, your first choice when you need health insurance for your small business. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? Call us now and see if you can save money. Do you want to offer vision and dental to your employees? Call us. Do you think you're paying too much for your current health insurance? Call us. Do you want somebody else to do all the legwork and search thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide? Call us. We're Health Markets, and thanks to a little-known solution, we could help your business save thousands of dollars on health insurance costs and save your employees money, too. Our service is free. Don't miss the great savings. Call now.
800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. That's 800-470-8021.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all states. Product availability varies.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
So Hillary comes out and says she would love a cabinet that's 50% women. And I want to attack this from two fronts here. She was on New York's 790 AM radio show, The Cats Roundtable. And she said she would, quote, would love, end quote, a cabinet that's 50-50, men and women. I feel strongly that when you have 50% of the population in our country, they need to be able to go as far as their hard work and talent will take them. And that's why for many years I've been an advocate for the equal rights of women and girls. I would love to see a cabinet that is 50-50 to reflect our population. It's certainly something I think is a really important goal. Okay, first off, let's address this at its face. To set a quota of any sort, men, women, racial, religious, whatever the case may be, on cabinet positions, some of the very most important jobs to make sure this country is safe, is functioning, that we're doing the things we need to do to move forward. To not say, I want the very best to be the heads of these agencies and these departments. I feel like we should just go half and half, elephants and giraffes. What kind of nonsense is that? And does it echo any less of a commitment to make sure that we are protected and we are safe and this country is moving in the right direction? Now, I can hear the left right now. Well, there's perfectly competent women out there to fill these roles. That may be true, but there's a presupposition here that no matter what, if let's just make it easy math. If there are 4 cabinet positions and 2 have gone to men, then the last 2 must go to women, even if in that situation there is zero argument that a man is the best person for the job. I hate this. I hate it when I see it on applications for employment. What race are you? What gender are you? I hate it. I hate quotas. It is nonsense. It's the same as affirmative action. And if we are going to get rid of racism and sexism in this country, one, people have to quit being racist and sexist. Two, we have to get rid of the quotas. It's that simple. I hate this nonsense. It's nothing more than rhetoric falling out of an idiot's mouth. But notice she didn't commit to it. It is exactly that. It's rhetoric. I would love to see a cabinet that's 50-50. She didn't commit to it. It's something I certainly think is a really important goal. There's no commitment. It's election noise from her. She's going to do whatever she wants to. That's what she does anyway, regardless of the law. Now let's go to these May Day protests. And there's a reason I'm bringing this up. And again, there is no political correctness. There is no safe zone here. Make America great again. We warned you about American-hating mobs, says Breitbart. And what happened is we saw a protest against Donald Trump in California with this same type of group of people. We saw it in Arizona. We saw it during these, quote, May Day protests. And a large chunk of these people are illegal immigrants. And they're out there waving the Mexican flag here on American soil. Now, this may hurt some feelings, but I'm just going to call it like I see it. One, protecting the borders and making sure that our immigration laws within a country of laws is not racist. It's good policy. It's good procedure. Nobody is stopping you if you live in another country from coming into America. What the proposition is that we stop you from doing it illegally. Not racist. It's not even close. Secondly, if you are in this country and you are willing to take advantage of all the great things this country provides, and then you have the audacity to wave another country's flag, a country that stands for bribing elected officials, horrendous murder rates and corruption with drug cartels, drugs themselves. There's a reason people are fleeing Mexico. And you have the audacity to wave that flag in the streets of America. If it's so great, go back to Mexico. I have no problem with people acknowledging their ethnicity or their family history. I got no problem with that. But when you're out there protesting and there's violence and you're screaming racism as you wave another country's flag, now we got a problem. It's ignorance at its finest. You want to come to the United States and take all we have to give, but you hate the United States? Because that's what that is. That's a slap in the face. Waving the Mexican flag in America? That's a slap in the face to America. That is that person saying, I am more loyal to Mexico than I am to America, even though America gave me all of this. It's disgusting. And I'm at my wit's end with this nonsense. I am. I have, it's a point of frustration. It's a point of anger because I think about all the people who have died to make this country great. I think of all the people that have sacrificed. I think about all the wars we have been in. I think about all the people that have worked hard, those long hours to provide for their family. And then these people think they can just run across the border and take and then not even acknowledge and support the country they're taking from. It breaks my heart. It truly does. And so this whole May Day thing, this Black Lives Matter, we've lost focus. These people have lost focus. And this is a credit to the school system, ladies and gentlemen. They don't understand history. They don't understand the reason they are where they are today. They don't understand what it took to get there. They understand none of that. Because we're teaching to an exam that teachers' livelihoods depend on. This Common Core, this exam that determines whether teachers are doing their job or not. We're not educating. We're teaching them how to take a test. And as a result, we get this generation. We get this generation that thinks socialism's great. We get this generation that doesn't understand the sacrifices that happen to make America great. We get people running across the border and people saying, yeah, go get them. They are racist. How are they racist? That's the result of this. That's the result. Hey, on the other side, we're going to get into Target. I talked about it last week, that there had been no effect on Target stock, and that's all management cares about. They don't care about anything else other than that stock price. Well, there's finally been a reaction. Let's talk about it on the other side.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity, lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialists in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
So we've spent significant time here on the program talking about the transgender bathroom laws and how, as for me and mine, we're just going to use God's definition of man and woman. Target disagreed, and we talked about it last week. They allow transgender people to pick whatever bathroom they want, but the argument is it's not the transgender people I'm worried about. It's the people who intend to do harm that are going to use this loophole to get into the wrong bathroom. Or the wrong locker room. That's my concern, right? And when you think about your family, your kids, your wife, whatever, you've got to consider these things. And so people stepped up and they're going to boycott Target because Target said, hey, use whatever bathroom you want. We don't care. That was their position. And so people started standing up and causing a little ruckus. And I mentioned there was this boycott working. And I made it very clear that in the world of business, it does not matter. It does not matter if you sign a petition or not, if you boycott it or not. There is one thing the C-level executives and management cares about, and that's the stock price. It's the value of the company. Well, as of April 19th, the company's stock was at almost $84. And we discussed this, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday of last week. Well, Friday, when the closing bell hit, the stock had dropped almost $4.50 a share to $79.50. And you say, well, that's no big deal. It's a huge deal. Here's why. It's a 5% drop. That number still doesn't mean much to a lot of people because that's a nickel on a dollar. Who cares, right? They don't care. When you add up all those shares and that loss, the company lost $2.5 billion in market value over this. That's real. That's how you solve this problem right there. So YouGov has a brand index, and it's called a buzz score. And what's important here is that they rate this thing. There's different ways. But the buzz score leading up to the week the data breach announcement happened was 26. 1 year later, it was -9. Today, the buzz score is -19, dropping around 45 points. But the April 29th buzz score was 11 just before the boycott was signed by the millionth customer. This buzz score is kind of favorability. Again, it's moot. You'll hear a lot of this rhetoric out there, buzz scores and favorability. None of that matters to these guys. These guys that run this company, that make these policies, are concerned about one thing. Now, all these surveys and marketing indexes and buzz scores and sales and profitability and all of that, advertising, all of it trickles down, funnels down into one thing, and it's the only thing that matters. That's stock price, shareholder value. That's it. And these executives have been taught at their crackerjack MBA schools that you have to get that number up as high as you possibly can. That's your goal, even if it's artificially high. I'm telling you, that's nonsense. There's research out there that says it's nonsense. It's an Enron effect. Enron created their stock to be artificially high. The market realized it, and not only did it drop below book value, it kept going. The reconciliation of that market value went past book value. And so that may be academic rhetoric for some of you, but some of you are following along. The only thing these guys care about is that market value. And now there's a response out here. Now there are people saying, look, I don't want to be a part of what you're doing. And there are enough of them that have sold the stock that equilibrium point of supply and demand has fallen. And it's fallen 5%, costing this company's market value $2.5 billion. Now, who recognizes that loss? The shareholders do. The shareholders trying to sell recognize that loss. If they would have just sold it a week earlier, they would have made that $2.5 billion spread out over the amount of shares moved, right? But it's not the company that realizes it. But the way this thing works, stockholders elect board members hire management. Stockholders aren't happy, they get new board members. New board members get new management. So the management, the C-level directors and executives and management are ultimately held to account by shareholders. And if shareholders are dumping this stock and that stock price is falling, those that still hold the stock are going to say, hey, hold on. This isn't going to work. We need new management. And that is how you hold a company to account, not by putting a picture of a red cup on your dadgum Facebook. That's not how you do it. This is how you do it. Hats off to those of you who have liquidated your target stock. That is the right move. And folks, that's going to do it for today. Believe it or not, we are out of time. My goodness. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to come back tomorrow with some more information on those terrestrial stations and mine and Matt Locke's show. Join me tomorrow on the Gavin Mitchell Show. I'm Gavin Mitchell. We'll see you then.
Thanks for listening to the Gavin Mitchell Show, the Blue Collar Professor, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Blue Collar Professor's daily podcast. Join us again next time as we take the liberals to school. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of the Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production.